Hi, my name is Michal and this is a summary of the first stage of Volta Marina 2023, my first ever race. Not just a Gran Fondo, but an actual race where you need a license. I got mine just 4 days before the start, which says something about my experience. The stage was in and near the town of Pego, in the region of Alicante, in Spain. It was 64 kilometers, with the first half slightly downhill and the second half false flat, slightly uphill, and with something I would call the ramp in the city of Pego. Here, I would like to take you through my experience with the first race ever. To me, the first lap seemed really fast, but I managed to stay with the group. It was very hectic, I had to be 100% focused all the time, but staying with the group, the first lap was promising. After one of the roundabouts, in the second lap, where we had to do a sprint to regroup, I didn't manage to rejoin the group. Even though I tried really hard, I just didn't have enough power, and I thought there are some other riders behind me that I would group with and we could perhaps manage to rejoin the peloton, but there was no one. There was just the organizer car, the team cars and the ambulance, so I was left on my own. What followed were a few awkward minutes where I was riding next to the organizer car as the gap between me and the peloton was growing and the organizer car had to stay with me. So I approached them a few minutes later and I asked whether they mind. I was maybe too polite. I asked whether they mind being next to me, and then they suggested that I take off my dorsal, my bib number, and that they move on next to the peloton. Taking off my bib number and giving up wasn't an option, of course. With that, they also told me that I should be careful because there is a traffic which was being closed and reopened as the peloton moved. At the end of the second lap, I was ready to call it a wrap, but my wife Christina had different plans, and as I passed her, she encouraged me to move on. So then I time trialed solo for 36 kilometers, eager not to be pulled away from the race, out of the race, or being lapped by the peloton. I wasn't really sure at which point I could be removed from the race, so I just pushed on. Of course, I wanted to finish and climb the epic Alto del Miserat with the ramps up to 25%. I was really looking forward to that. I've ridden the climb twice in the past, so yeah, I just wanted to do that. Then after 48 kilometers out of 64 planned kilometers, it was the Guardia Civil that had different plans than me. The first officer approached me, and after some chat he let me be and just shrugged his shoulders and shook his head over my stubbornness. But the next kilometer another officer approached me and he was very explicit about me stopping and finishing the race with his "Ostia para, something like, "For God's sake, stop." So that was my race over. In a minute or so, the peloton passed me as I was already standing on the roadside, and I was just admiring their style, how they pedaled and moved together as a group. And they made it look really easy, but I know it wasn't. So that was my experience, mixed feelings really. I knew that it was a big challenge for me, this kind of race, and that I wasn't that well prepared, and that just proved to be right. What's next? The next stage is next Sunday. I'm not yet sure what I'm going to do. My fitness level and power are obviously not matching the rest of the peloton, but let's see. As far as it's safe for me and the others around me, I'm willing to try again. So yeah, that's the summary of my first ever race. Please leave a comment if you have any questions on my experience, and subscribe if you want to see more of these updates in the future and my progress. Thanks for watching.